Hi, Don Chen. How are you?
I'm great. Looking forward to sharing today's stage with every other wonderful woman.
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah, myself, Shruti, and she's Melinda. So we both are
Hi,
hosting you with you. Hi, how are you, Don?
great. How are you?
Very
Nice to
well.
meet you.
Thank you. Me too. So, are you excited to present your presentation today?
Definitely. I've been preparing for today. So looking forward.
I think on the International Women's Week, you are presenting on the Global Virtual Summit of Win Ideas and Pro Summits. So, we are very honored to have you. Before you start your presentation, we will just give an introduction of you. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
So, let our attendees know who you are and what you will be talking on. Okay, ladies and
All right.
gentlemen, and esteemed guests, it's our honor to introduce our next speaker, the extraordinary Dawn Shen. With a remarkable 22-year corporate journey behind her, Dawn has transitioned into a role where she passionately assists individuals in unblocking life's obstacles and embracing a vibrant life filled with calmness, confidence, and ease. Dawn isn't just a practitioner of her craft, she is a living testament to the transformative power of her work. Since 2012, Dawn has touched the lives of incredible clients from 18 countries, both online and in person, embodying her motto of setting hearts free. Her focus on reconnecting the clients to their innate ability to heal and accelerating their self healing capacities has paved the way for medication free and non invasive, and impact have not gone unnoticed, earning her international recognition, including the Asia's Best Brand Award from 2018 to 2022 and the prestigious title of Asia's Women Leader by the World Women Leadership Congress. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to the inspirational Dawn Shen. Yeah, what a bio. I mean, it's huge.
Thank you so much, Suzanne and
Lots of
Melinda. Thank you so much for having me. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night to everyone here online. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's really an honor. I'm actually based in Singapore. So today I'll be sharing on the topic of unleash your potential for success. So let me just share my slides here. Yeah, hang on, it's not showing. All right. So, anyway, today I'm actually talking about unleashing your potential for success for your emotional health. So, I am going to be sharing slides again, trying again one more time. And I hope you can see that now. So, just a quick introduction of myself. So, I have been trained in natural holistic wellness without the use of medication since more than 10 years ago. From USA, Germany, Australia, Japan, India, Dubai, and Malaysia. So my specialization are anxiety, anger, fear, and stress, and to help women to be free from these negative emotions and, of course, limiting beliefs without the use of medication. So just some glimpses of where I have been sharing with women across the world. So coming back to the topic, our thoughts affect our emotional health. And there is this famous quote and a great reminder that reminds us that mind is the forerunner of all things. All diseases are thus created by our mind. Tracing back the passage of time, we can reconnect with the universe and restore our health to a state of balance. So, what exactly is emotional health or emotions? So, emotions are actually energy in motion, and it's about the ability to understand and manage our emotions effectively, which affects our relationships, our work, and well-being. They are actually signals to us on what are we not aligned with within ourselves, and it's there to help us to stay well and balanced. So, Some examples of how our mind and our health are linked, because the emotion actually has different physiological impact on our body. And so I think you know very well that when we are stressed, the body actually releases cortisol. And some examples of cortisol being released was like high blood pressure, and of course increasing of blood sugar levels, which affect people with diabetes or family history of diabetes. And of course it affects our body ability to fight off disease and infections and causes our immune system to be really weaker, and of course causes increase in fat storage. And sometimes it's very common for women to complain about how come I'm getting fatter, especially about around the abdomen. So all these contribute to increased chance of heart problems, for example. But when we are feeling good, the brain releases serotonin and oxytocin that gives us the feeling of happiness, love, and confidence. And I love this quote from Indra Nooyi. She was the ex-president of Pepsi. And this is a great quote that helped me, and I hope that it help anyone here. That she says, whatever anybody says or does, assume positive intent. You'll be amazed at how your whole approach to a person or problem becomes very different. So focusing on the positive intent of anyone that comes to us. So our mind and our health are linked. It's not something that it's only said in recent days or recent years. So in every sense, the things we think and the things we feel are able to impact us physically in some pretty profound ways. And this is actually discovered by Hippocrates, the father of medicine, since the ancient Greek time, 460 before Christ. And he said, if someone wishes for good health, one must first ask oneself if he is ready to do away with the reasons for his illness. Only then is it possible to help him. So I would like to ask you, which emotion affects you most today? I'm sure there will be one, because otherwise we'll be totally in Zen state. And all of us here, I'm very, very certain that we are here because we want to become better and we want to attain calmness and clarity that comes with it. So when you identify one of this, I'm going to share with you the impact of what these emotions can be doing to our health. So negative emotions and their effects. The gallbladder actually gets affected as well as the liver. And that's one of the reasons why some of us actually get headache or hypertension, aches and pain rather regularly. So it's great to look at or acknowledge what are the emotions that are affecting you. And for stress anxiety, it actually affects the heart and the brain, such that the result of it is heart problem, stroke, insomnia, or indigestion. And for sadness and grief, they affect our lungs and our large intestines area. And what is being manifested is actually eczema and dry skin. Following up is jealousy. It actually causes the body pH to be really, really high or rather acidic. And that's where it explains like numbness because of poor blood circulation. And of course, it causes cancer because the body is in a very acidic environment. And osteoporosis is one of the causes or one of the triggers that was due to jealousy, because jealousy is like eating the structure of our frame, which is our skeletal framework. And for worry, its first attack is the stomach, causing us to be bloated or constipated or having indigestion as well. And for fear, which sometimes we worry too much and that causes the fear to come in. And that's how it causes backache because it affects the kidneys. And what leads to that are like diabetes, vertigo, tinnitus, and puffy eyes. If you feel that you've been complaining about your eyes that are getting puffy or having dark eye circles, this is one of the reasons why. Yeah, and so do you know that 5 minutes of anger equals to 6 hours of damage to the immune system? That's how bad it is to our health system. So all of the health issues mentioned above can lead to even more serious problems such as heart attacks and strokes. And so yeah, I actually use the green hawk as a good example. And do you know that emotions actually manifest as physical pain over time? And it's not so much of the pain that just happen for no reason, but once the emotional pain accumulates over time, that's how physical pain actually show up in the body. And when it happens in different part of the body, do you know that it's actually sending you signal about what you've not been feeling in a balanced way and not thinking in a balanced way? And the emotional pain chart here tells us about the mental thought patterns that form our experiences. So if you've been having neck issues, that's because what have you been holding on to your views so strongly, and that's causing you to be inflexible, such that the neck is having stiffness. And for shoulders, it represents our ability to carry our experiences in our life joyously. It's like, what are you carrying that burden so unhappily? So we are actually making life a burden by our attitude. And for the spine, it has three parts. So we have the upper, the middle, and the lower spine, and each represents a different reason. So if it's the upper part of the spine, is actually referring to a lack of emotional support, feeling unloved, and you are also holding back love towards some people that you wish to show love to. And when we feel pain in the middle back, it's like there is this feeling of being stuck in the past and you just want it off your back. But somehow you are not letting it go. And that's how the middle back pain shows up. And as well for lower back, it's actually about the worry of money because you're feeling the lack of financial support. So elbows actually also represents changing of directions and accepting new experiences because you're just elbowing out certain life experiences that are coming towards you, or individuals who are challenging you to get out of the current life circumstance to move into a different direction that is actually beneficial for your growth. And if you have any wrist pain or tension, it actually represents movement and ease that you are not having at the moment. As for the lower part of the body, I'll just go into the hips, the knees, and the ankles and bunions. So hips are actually a big reflection of major decisions that you want to make in your life, but yet you are fearful of going into it. And for knee, it's like when it's having pain, it's also showing that you have the inability to move forward because you just don't want to give in. You may know someone who is like that because in my family, there are women who are like that as well. That's because women hold strong to our views, right? And as for ankle, it also represents the ability to receive pleasure. And therefore, when there is actually tension in the ankle, it's also a reflection of inflexibility and some feeling of guilt. And lastly, for bunions, it's really about the lack of joy in meeting experiences in life. So you may not be having it, but think about times where you could be having it. And so unblock your potential for success. One way is to really generate gratitude. And one way to do that is to observe the merits of people, of someone that you may not enjoy talking to, or you may not enjoy the presence of the person. This definitely works for me very, very well, where I just force myself to look at the good qualities of the person instead of focusing on the negative aspect of the individual, or it can be applied to situation as well. It's not just for human beings. And think about the kindness that this particular person actually can demonstrate. It's like everyone actually starts with a kind heart, but it's actually life experiences that cause us to be putting up a shield and acting rather differently. But deep down, we are all beings with great loving kindness deep down. And of course, again, I'll bring you back to Indra Nooyi's quote where she really reminds us to assume positive intent of anybody who comes to us, say certain thing or doing certain thing. You'd be amazed at how this whole approach becomes different because that's how we actually shift the perspective. So from focusing on something negative to something broader, to a wider perspective. Now, of course, the other ways to unblock your potential is to practice self-compassion because it's important to take care of ourselves first before we can take care of others. It's just like if your cup is empty, how do you fill others people's cup? And one more practice is mindfulness breathing exercise, where we are bringing ourselves to be able to come back to the present. Breathing exercise is the best way to do it because when we are not feeling good, it's because we are either in the past where our minds just keep repeating the unhappiness episodes that had happened, whether just an hour ago, a month ago, or like a year ago. And anything that stays in your mind and your heart for more than 4 hours or up to 10 days, that is potentially a blockage to your success. And we don't want that to happen. And of course, lastly, is the wellness therapies that I offer that use transformology to remove these emotional blockages for good. So, of course, there are many wellness therapies out there that can help you achieve success and peace of mind. And I'm just sharing on what I can actually do here. So, lastly, how would it look like if you continue to suppress the negative emotions or limiting beliefs in the next 5 years? How would it look like for you in life? And would you want to be living with these negative emotions or limiting beliefs like I'm not good enough? It's definitely causing some health issues if you don't let it go. So, thank you very much for your time and your attention here in your participation. I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to share my knowledge and my experiences. And I pray that all of you can live, laugh, and love life as you go along. And I will welcome any questions that we can take and share further where necessary. I'll be happy to do that. Right.
Give us 1 second. 1 second.
Sure.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. So we have taken a key points from your presentation. Like I appreciate your recognition of emotional trauma and understanding and managing emotions is very crucial. So yes, I like the say like 1 minute of anger will destroy your mental health and everything. I like that point. So, what do you think, Shruti? How would you enjoy this last speaker presentation for today?
Yeah, it was really good. We have a wonderful speech of you, your emotional intelligence. I think some key points we are able to take from your discussion. So I'll be
Thank you.
posting a question. So from the audience, in your view, what distinguishes self-compassion from self-esteem?
All right. So, self compassion, to me, to put it very simply, and it's what I usually tell my clients, is to be gentle with yourself. That's one way of practicing self compassion, where just put yourself as the most important person. Is like, if I don't ask you who's the most important person, or I'm to ask you, so who's the most important person in your life? Do you think about yourself first, or do you think about another person that's really, really close to you?
Uh,
Especially for mothers, right? Like my daughter, my son.
Obviously.
No, yeah, actually, it's ourselves because they are a reflection of our energy. So when you love yourself, your children emulate you. And do you want them to love themselves too? Yes, definitely. And so you want them to love themselves, take care of themselves. Who does it start with? Ourselves. And that's for sure. It's like starting to be kind to ourselves because usually we are really hard on ourselves, like expecting 100% of ourselves, expecting us to be the best. But yet, are you filling your own cup? And as for self esteem, it's part of confidence. So when you take care of yourself, when you have self compassion, you know that when any uncertainties or difficulties that come along, you'll be able to deal with it. It's only when your attention is not on yourself, when you don't take care of yourself, you actually causes you actually cause the self-limiting beliefs to come in, like I'm not good at doing whatever that I need to do. And so you distract yourself with something else. But when you are grounded and really taking of yourself, having yourself as the main center, the main pedestal on the pedestal, your self-esteem actually increases because your clarity is there, your mind is clear, and you know that you can be conquering anything that comes, even though it can be really, really difficult. I hope I answered the questions.
Yeah, very well answered, Don. I mean, we thoroughly enjoyed your presentation, and this is the, I mean, the before we move on to the EST time zone, this is our last presentation for today. We,
Yes.
we enjoyed it very well. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for our next session altogether. We are going to open up in the EST time zone in an hour or two. Yeah, let's take a short break. And
Sure.
before we wind this session, I would thank each and everyone, all the speakers, all the audience who are here, who are with us. We initially started with some technical glitches, but later on, the momentum of the conference went very well. Thank you so much. Appreciate all your patience, and stay tuned for our next sessions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be going live on the EST time zone in an hour or two. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.